Hey, it is December 12th that I am recording this video. I'm gonna try and get it posted today. If you're new here, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of how I do missing persons cases and maybe what I'm gonna do a little bit differently for this one, because this is what I feel like doing. When on YouTube, I'm still trying to figure it out of how I want to go about missing persons cases, because I am aware of people watching and their sensitivities. It would be, my analogy to this is like if you were sitting in on an ongoing investigation and the investigators are talking behind the scenes and brainstorming of all different things that could possibly be happening, hypothesizing, and then people taking it personally and freaking out about it. So that's kind of the angle that I'm aware of that people might be, coming from. So I want to be a little bit sensitive to that, and at the same time, I don't want to go all in with the way that I do these missing persons cases. Off camera, like in my private life, personal life, however, whatever, if I do missing persons cases, it's completely different. This, for here, I'm more reserved for myself as well. I'm reserved for you guys. And then I'm also trying to analyze it. And I'm not an investigator. I don't have all the information, and I don't have that ability that a lot of these people have, right? So I can kind of mess up a lot more than I would otherwise, because otherwise I just kind of block out information, okay? So I just want you guys to be aware, and I advise those of you who are watching this to take an investigative standpoint from what I'm saying, and maybe not take everything that I say at face value. And now you kind of know where my approach is coming from, to make your own assumptions, or like, you get what I'm saying. Like basically, anyway, I know you know what I'm saying. And I lit this candle for sage specifically. Normally I don't do that, but I did want to do this just for peace, for answers, for everyone involved, for closure, whatever needs to happen for sage. Okay, I saw whoever left the comment to do sage, I don't even remember the full name at this point, that was maybe a week ago, if that. It was that same day that because I'm assuming that you're going to be watching this because you're probably looking out for people doing readings or just any information on this person. Okay, so I saw it that evening, and I was motivated then to go do a reading. And I did do a reading. I'm looking around if my voice is changing. I'm looking around because I used paper. I wrote down some key information, and I think I accidentally shredded that paper, because I shred all the readings. So I think I shredded it, and my recording, I think I deleted it. I haven't checked thoroughly because I have so many other readings on here. But I'm like, ugh. So I just kind of left it at that and kind of made peace with it. Like maybe it wasn't meant to be or whatever. They came up, and I'll tell you about that reading in a minute, but they came up in my awareness again a few days ago. Actually not even a few, it was like, let's see, today is the 12th, which is Sunday, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure what day it was exactly, but I was driving and I was thinking about them. And what made me think about them were the trees around me, the changing of the leaves. And I feel like it just it reminds me of them. Like maybe that's where they are. And I'm getting a song today. So, and then again today, I wasn't going to record anything today. And I feel so strongly about Sage. I feel so strongly about them that I canceled my plans that I had, and now I'm recording this video. The song that I'm channeling is Can We Talk? It's by Tevin Campbell. I'm actually, let me write this down so I don't forget. I will post it below. So, Can We Talk? Now, when I get channeled songs, normally, I've said this, sometimes it's in the comments, actually. It can be anything related to the song. The lyrics, the artist, the music video, comments that are left in the music, you know, on that YouTube. I don't know, but I'm anytime I get a song, I do genuinely feel it's very important. With this, I feel this is the theme of Sage. It's like, can we talk? Can we talk about it? Okay. So let's go back to when I first did that. Oh, and let me just say, so the approach that I'm taking this time is a little bit different. I'm going to just be a little bit more tactless in the way that I deliver this information. Just a forewarning for you guys. So my apologies ahead of time if anything that I say seems to be a little much. If you're a highly sensitive person, then I just advise you not to watch this video, or at least be aware of this warning. Okay, so, and the reason I'm doing that is it's just going to be a lot easier for me. You're just going to have to follow my train of thought, okay? All right, so, and know that I am coming from a good place with this. So, all right, that day that I did the reading, I looked Sage up first, which, if you've watched any of my other videos, I love to take like absolute blind approach. Like if you just literally tell me next to nothing, like sometimes the gender helps, but it's more of like, for my channel, I want to challenge myself, right? It's more about my personal growth, of why I like to do that. So I don't know, I didn't even think twice about it. I'm like, I'm gonna look them up. I didn't even like, nothing. I had no psychic vision, no thoughts, nothing channeled. Just look them up. I went to Google and I put in Google their name, their full name, however you wrote it, and there were 3 articles that popped up. So if you want to go to Google, hopefully it'll be the same ones. The top 2 were the ones that I saw because I had downloaded something, so at the bottom that 3rd article was blocked by like the download notification. So I was looking at the top 2 and it was saying that it was a missing persons, and it was screaming in my head, okay? Screaming in my head, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, whatever that means. That's what it, and whatever that means is part of the vision. So don't think that you, let me grab, just so I want you guys to be absolutely clear on the things that I'm saying. So, and again, I'm going to put Can We Talk? I'm going to put that in the description so you can go listen to it yourself. And then what I was hearing is, I'm alive. That was for certain, whatever that means. And the I'm alive was like repeating, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. Whatever that means. That's how I heard it. This is not to give false hope. This is not to say that this person is actually alive, because I 100% do not know. I literally don't know. Sometimes I'm pretty good about figuring out if they're alive or not, like actually living. They do. To me personally, yeah, they do feel alive, but it's like every time I say that, it's like no false hope. Yes, no false hope. It's weird. It's just that it's whatever they're like, what they're saying, whatever that means. And so I started analyzing in my head. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what does this mean? I'm alive, whatever that, what do you mean, whatever that means? Whenever I feel this, sometimes it could be like a lost soul. I guess you would say like a ghost, I guess you would say. Or someone who had recently passed and they're still processing what had happened to them. And it's difficult for them to sit with that information. Okay? Sometimes with suicide or with murder, but the murder would be something that was not supposed to happen. Well, most of the time, I don't know. I don't know if things like that are supposed to happen or not, but it's like when their intuition was like screaming at them for a long time to like get away from the situation, and then they like neglected their intuition and then they were killed. Like, those are the times that I have personally picked up that they're like kind of in limbo, right? Okay, so then all of that was processed in my head, but then I settled on the fact that they're actually alive. I'm like, nah, they're alive, definitely. And then I clicked off of my download and I saw the third article, which was from, I believe they're from Charlottesville, so it would be like the charlottesville.gov. So it's the government release report that it's a homicide investigation. And I'm like, what? Homicide? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I swear it's not. And that's so strange. So I clicked it. And I read it. And if you read, like, I kind of skimmed it. Like, I did read the whole thing, but it was more of just almost like disassociated reading. But obviously, like, if you read it, then you still process that information whether you're fully aware of it or not. It's in your brain. So that third article, I didn't read the first two. The third article is the one I clicked on because I was like, no way. And then I saw the picture of Sage, and then I saw two, it was like Sage, and then on either side anchoring was a picture of a woman, and I think that's Sage. Like, I don't know if he's trans or cross-dresser, or I don't know, because it looks like a different person to me. Like, definitely looks like a female, so I was kind of confused. And then if you scroll all the way down, it was another man, and that was who they feel is involved. That was the last person seen or was supposed to be seen with them. Again, you can go to the article and see exactly what I was talking about, what I read. And I was like, what in the world? And then I saw that it was like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, and they reopened it as a homicide investigation. I'm like, 10 years? 10 years. That is a long time for an unrested soul. Like, that's a long time personally for me. I know that's possible, but that would be very, very shocking and surprising to me. And so, again, not to give false hope about this Sage being alive, but it's very surprising. So that we could look at it in that sense, and even Can We Talk is like the return of Sage's soul and peace and everything back to the family or whoever is looking for her or him. I'll just say probably her, but I'm gonna stick to just hopefully Sage. I'll just try and stick to that, since I don't know. And yeah, so anyway, that threw me off, and I was like, whoa, what is going on here? So I sat down and I was thinking. Actually, let me check, since I'm already pulling out different colored markers. I don't think that I have one the same color, and if I do, then it's not in here. I saw a circle. I don't think that it was a ball. Like, it didn't feel three-dimensional. I mean, it could be, but I saw a circle and it was blue. I like navy blue, a navy blue ball or circle. And it was like showing me arrows, like directions. And goodness gracious. I wish I could, and I remember thinking, is it Dave and Buster's? Like an adult, it felt like an adult place. So it's like Sage was talking to a person about going somewhere that was like adult related but fun. They didn't go there, I don't believe, but that's what they were thinking of. And then the circle has to do with where they were at, like where they had met, or where they were supposed to meet, something like that. Okay. I can't really get into all the specifics of that last reading because I can't quite remember. So what I'm going to do is just kind of tell you from fresh, okay? And just try and follow with me. Some other feelings that I'm getting too, by the way, so I'm starting to get a really bad headache. Like, it's almost hard to focus. I don't know if Sage was on drugs or is currently on drugs. I'm gonna assume that they're alive. Feels as if they are, but once again, not to lead you guys astray and produce false hope, because it could just be a strong, unrested soul. My best advice, because I feel the family's energy or people that are close to Sage, it feels very familial to me, though, of like desperation. Like a love out of love, desperation out of love. Like, I want answers. I need answers. Someone needs to tell me something now. I don't care. Just tell me what it is. I don't care how you deliver the information. I just want to know what happened, and I want to know what's going on. And I feel like encouraging you, whoever you are, to try and like use your own intuition, your own abilities, to see what you might feel, and try not to question it or doubt it or judge it. Just let it come through. See where that leads you, because it feels like Sage wants to come back right now. It feels like Sage is coming back or wants to come back. All right. The issue, right, that's been this up until now and even right now, and I feel what I'm feeling, and it's really hard to kind of even talk, is because it feels like drugs. It feels like some sort of drug, like a syringe, like some needle, like something you would inject, or smoke. I don't know, it feels like very intense, very, very intense. And I've never been addicted to drugs, so I can't say for certain, but and it's hard to breathe. And I can't say for certain, but it's this feeling that I want to get sober, and I want to right my wrongs, or I want to come back. I want to go back to my family, or I want to go back to people who love me. But I have a great deal of shame for where I am right now and what I did and what's been uncovered and what is speculated about me. And so that thought of having to sober up and then deal with my demons and deal with the consequences and deal with the realities of what I did when I wasn't sober is a lot. It's overwhelming, and I don't know if I'm ready to do that. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm strong enough to be able to do that, but I want it. There's that desire, because the love is sobering. It's like, because the love is so strong and genuine and real, it pierces through the toxicities of I was going to say alcohol, but it's like the poison, right, of the drug or drugs. I keep getting this image of a motel, like it's a motel. I don't think it's a hotel. It's a motel and woods. And the analogy that I'm getting is how there's homeless people. I don't know if this is everywhere, but there's homeless people that live in the woods. And that's what I am reminded of. Is the homeless people that live in the woods, and then they prostitute themselves out and they go into the motels, but they actually live in the woods, and then they're also, like, the motel is aware of this, and it's just kind of like, it's like a dirty criminal organization, right? It's like, oh, it's this like crooked area. And that's kind of where I feel what's going on. I feel like Sage, it feels like transported somewhere. I don't know. It almost feels against Sage's will, but willingly going with it because of depression and desperation, sadness. So it's kind of like, I really, really don't want to do this, but I'm so messed up. Like, I'm mentally messed up. I'm messed up on drugs. Whatever, just take me, I don't care. You know, and it was almost like what I feel is a trafficking situation. Trafficked and abused and used as a drug user, homeless person. And they it's like giving up. They feel like they've kind of given up on life. They feel lost. They're around other people who feel lost. Just like not physically lost necessarily, just like lost in the mind, lost in the world. That's what it feels like. So when we go back to the day of Sage going missing, I feel like youth. I feel young, okay, and I feel like there's other people. Like, Sage was with people, surrounded by people. It feels like females. It feels like other females. Feels like females. And, like, if some sort of, like, messy situation, like, I don't know if there's, like, an altercation or there's, like, an issue. It feels just like, so that's how it feels. Like, there's just, like, a lot going on. Like that. Like, I don't even know if I really want to deal with it. And Sage leaves because I feel like Sage is communicating, like texting, calling, talking, because I feel Sage in a phone. I feel Sage in a phone or something, okay, something, looking at it, communicating with that person of interest, okay? I don't know the person's name. I don't remember. It's like they were going to meet up. Why is there a third man? There's a third... I feel like there's a third man, and the third man's like a white man, like it feels like a bigger, older white man. He just feels big. I don't know about the description, but it feels like a big, just like heftier. I don't know what I mean by big. They feel heavy. And with a car, like it's like a heavy man with a car who takes Sage. That's besides the point. I'm skipping over some stuff. So talking to this guy, the person of interest, like, okay, we're gonna go meet up, and that's where they met up. It's somewhere with a lot of concrete. There's a lot of concrete around them. It reminds me of, like, you know, like those outdoor malls, but like even it's not even that, because like everything's just like concrete and like metal, heavy. I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff. A lot of places to go. So I'm getting a lot of places to go. That I just keep repeating that. A lot of places to go. A lot of places to go. Sage is there. Like, Sage goes there. I don't know how Sage gets there. It feels like a dangerous way of how they got there. Maybe they're like, I don't know if it was at night, because it feels in the evening. It feels nighttime or evening time. And for me, it feels unsafe to be walking by yourself. So, or bicycle. I don't know. It feels like out in the open, like out in the elements. this guy, this person of interest, I feel there's something with money that's involved. And when I think about money, it turns into like a block, like a whole like emotional shutdown. When it comes to money, his emotions completely shut down. So it's like he had genuine feelings, or like something could have gone somewhere, or even like, let's just say like, I'll say it, like getting turned on by Sage, like all of that. When money got involved, it's like emotions shut down. Everything's gone. I'm not even really turned on. I'm not really into it. I'm not into you. I'm not into the situation. I don't want to deal with it. I don't like it. I just don't like it. And so there's an issue there, and that was the ending of this. That is what happened, the crux of this relationship. And I feel like there's a female involved. I don't know if it's a Mexican. I don't know why I'm getting Mexican. It's like Spanish origin, and blonde. Like she looks white. She looks like pale to me and like blonde. I don't know if that description is accurate or not. If this other guy, the person of interest, has a female, whether he has a wife or girlfriend, who found out or who wasn't allowing this to happen anymore and was saying, you need to cut this off, whatever's going on there, okay? Ultimately, what it seems happened is that the person of interest decided on their own terms. I mean, everything kind of facilitated it, you know, like even more, but on their own terms, they decided, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be gay, or I don't want to be trans, or I don't want to be with you, because it feels like a relationship. It feels like they had a relationship with Sage, and they were like, I don't want to do this. Like, my girl found out, or my girl's not letting me do this. You know, she feels very possessive, angry, controlling. She feels controlling. And it's almost like an ultimatum, where if you don't do this, I'm gonna out you. Like, maybe they weren't open about it. I don't know, it feels like there's some sort of threat that's involved with him and with Sage from a female that she looks blonde to me, I don't know, but it feels Spanish. I want to keep saying Mexican, I don't know why. But I don't even know why I'm even saying that to begin with, honestly. So I guess I should question all of that. So yeah. So in Sage, the night of the disappearance, it feels like Sage is somewhere waiting, and like the feeling I get is like almost like disappointment, like maybe like getting stood up, or like not seeing anyone. Like it's like it didn't happen, like talking, then they're not there. And then like getting sad, kind of like, I knew this would happen, or I knew it was too good to be true, or I knew, you know, it's kind of like self-defeating feelings. Like if you're into someone and you kind of are like, oh, it's never gonna happen, and then like they do something and you realize, like, it even if it's not true, it's like, oh, well, of course you were never into me anyway, kind of thing. It's like that. It feels really, 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 really sad. Really sad. Sage feels really, 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 really sad. Extremely sad. But then there's this shock. I feel like someone showed up behind them and scared them. Like, and took them by surprise. So it was like when you get scared and then you see someone you recognize, you're like, hey! That's what I see. Is excitement. Scared excitement. Oh, hey. And then this feeling of curiosity and questioning. So it's almost as if the person was posing a question to Sage, like, hey, do you want to come here? You want to get in the car? Do you want to talk? Do you want to do something? You want to go somewhere? And Sage being like, yeah, okay, really? Like they didn't expect to see this person. I don't know who it is. It feels like the person of interest, but there's this looming idea in my head of like this permanent fixture of a third person who's big and potentially white and old. I don't know what that is. That could be completely made up, honestly. Like, I have no idea how accurate I am on this. So just keep all of that in mind as well, okay? Please don't hang on to every word that I say. Again, try and figure it out for your own, and like take only like pieces that make sense from this, because I have no idea. And I am trying to come up with a storyline too, so that might be I don't know. Okay, let me think. The person, it's like Sage, the feeling, okay, this is the scenario, and I don't know what the reality of what happened is, where like Sage would get in the car with the person of interest, and then they're like joking and laughing, and it was like they cried. It's like Sage cried, is kind of how it feels, or like at least like had a sense of sadness, and then like that relief, and then Sage looks behind, like, is anyone going to be back there? Is that female going to be back there? And the female is there, but I don't know if that's an imagination or not. You know, like that's just telling me Sage's thoughts or fears, and not necessarily the reality. It's like, oh, is she going to be back here to kill me? Like something like that, you know, or put a bag over my head or something, you know, like feeling threatened. But it was more of like a joking threaten, like kind of scared but excited, like excitable scaredness, because they didn't really believe that. You know, at their core, they're like, well, it's a possibility, but, you know, it's like when your intuition talks to you, but you don't take it seriously. And I'm hearing stabbing, like the word stabbing. So I don't know if that was part of the discussion, like, oh, she's going to be here and she's going to stab me, you know. Because it doesn't feel like that's what happened, you know. Like it feels like that's more of just what was discussed, and what I'm envisioning is the discussion. Like it's my own imagination making that, but I'm not sure, because it feels like how they separated was him talking to her, and it almost feels like another money exchange, like hush money or something, like here's like a goodbye money or something, like I don't want to pay you anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, like I want to be straight. Like it's almost like him saying like, listen, like this is a breakup, like I want to be straight, she doesn't want me to be with you, and I don't think I really want this. And it's almost like putting Sage down, like if Sage was sleeping for money or something, and it's like, well, I don't even want to be with someone like that, and you're just a prostitute, or, you know, like saying mean things to hurt Sage. I don't think it feels like he didn't mean it. It feels like one of those circumstances where it's like, well, I know I can't be with this person. Well, you could have. I mean, technically you could have, but it's like this. I feel like my hands are tied, even though they're not. So I'm going to say something that would hurt them enough that they would leave me alone. Because I don't want to see them again. I don't want to be a part of this anymore, and it's almost this feeling like, well, if Sage were to hurt themselves after this, It's not my business. And that's kind of where my guilt is, not guilt lies, but like that's where my where that lies with that. Just trying to see something. Maybe they did try and hurt Sage, and Sage got out, or Sage got away. I can't tell. It's like they either hurt Sage and Sage got away, or didn't get away. I don't know. Either something happened. I know this is like, oh, something happened or something didn't, obviously, but it's like either they hurt them. Either they hurt Sage, or they gave Sage money to go away. It's like, here's money, go away. I don't care if you kill yourself. I don't care if you jump off a bridge or run in front of a train. Like, I don't care. Just get out of here. Like, you're literally nothing to me. You're worthless. I don't want to be with you. I'm straight. And I hate you. I don't know, like, just like, I have no idea. That's the essence of how it feels. And it's like, just like, almost like pushing them away, like, go away forever. Like, almost like if you would have put them in the car and then just like dumped them somewhere. Like, go away from me. Now you're lost forever or something. But it's like, okay, if Sage got away, if nothing happened, why did Sage disappear? Is it this third person? What's going on? Honestly, it feels, if that were true, if Sage is alive, what happened? It feels very defeatist attitude. Like, because of this, it like broke Sage's heart. And kind of put things into a perspective and into reality where, like, Sage was kind of, it's like Sage was just kind of going along with, like, going with life, not really, it kind of feels like, I don't know how old Sage was. I don't know if it was in the article or not. It probably was. But it feels very young. Like, you know, when you're young, you're around a bunch of people, you go out and you party, you have fun, whatever. You're not really thinking of the consequences of your actions. And it's like, it kind of, and then it's like this other person's more, I'm not going to say more mature, but just like more settled in like a slower paced life. You know, and it feels like this, like, Sage, okay, this is what I can compare it to, is like, if Sage was like a college kid, and like 18, let's say they're like 18, like fresh into college, partying, going crazy every weekend and weekday, and then this other person's like 26, and, you know, has a steady job, even if it's not a full-time job, it's just like a steady job, a girlfriend, just like paying the bills, whatever, like two different lives, right? And so, and two different perspectives. So then this person of interest like said things to them that kind of shocked them, not necessarily into reality, because I feel like it's harsh, and, you know, not understanding Sage, you know, even if Sage was like going off and actually doing the things that they said, it's like, but still, that doesn't, but it's like, I don't know, for me, it's like, yeah, but still be a great person. They might be a little misguided, or just like young, but it that's what it feels like. It's like, oh, It hurt. It really hurt to hear, especially from someone that you actually like. It's kind of like that feeling, like if a sugar baby fell in love with a sugar daddy. I know this is kind of like that, where it's like, oh, someone help, I caught feelings for the person who's, you know, and then it's like, oh, well, I could never be with them anyway, they're too good for me. And then that sugar daddy's like, blah, 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 whatever. And then it's like, oh, of course, because I'm just out here, you know, shooting up or whatever and partying, and of course they think I'm exactly what I think I am, and that I could never have anyone like them, and I don't care. I don't care then. I don't care. Like that. I mean, in a way, like me personally, so stepping out of this, me personally, I would hope this is actually true, because that would mean Sage is somewhere, Sage is alive, and Sage does want to come back and actually talk to the family, and like, you know, it's like, it's okay, like, it's okay. That's unconditional love is like nothing you do, or say, or however, is like unforgiving. Like, I still care about you, I still love you, I accept you, I understand you, and we can work this out, we can figure it out together. I feel like there's love like that for Sage. I definitely do. And I think Sage, like I said before, that love is very powerful. It's very powerful. Sage can feel it. Sage wants that, needs that, and is understanding that. It's taking a long time to understand that. And, you know, let's just play with the idea that Sage is okay, wants to come back. They would need the resources, right? They need to even know that people are looking for them. They need to have a way of like seeing that information too. And also like money or whatever, you know, because if they're off in another state or something, and if they are living in the woods, it's like, how do they have access to this information? But again, let's not give false hope or anything, but maybe this will give answers to someone out there. I don't know if even anything I said is accurate, you guys. I could be completely off base and just showing my booty. So I apologize if I just wasted anyone's time. Going on in here. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going off on a weird tangent with this again, because I don't know how. It didn't even occur to me until just now of how far off base I could be. So, my apologies. But I don't know, since it's been 10 years, and let's just assume this whole, like, trafficking or whatever, when does someone age out of that? Or when do they ever age out of it? Do they ever gain independence of that? How does that work? Even if it's within a homeless community, how does that work? Because it kind of feels like, to me, what is being told here is like, I would like to come back, I am not able to come back because of like the control system within their like homeless community. There's probably some order too. Like, I know I'm making it seem as if that's the answer, that's true. That's just the way I'm processing it. That's not to say that I'm right. I could be wrong about that, but it feels like wherever they're at is that someone's kind of in control of them. It could even just be, it could be drugs, like the control of drugs over them. because it's just this feeling of my mind lost. I feel so lost without you. Isn't that a song? Is that a song? I'll write that down just in case, because I feel like it's the letter U. Lost without you. I'll look it up to see if that's a song. If it's not, I'll probably put a different one up there that's maybe titled Lost Without You that I feel. I mean, they definitely have regrets. It's everything that I said. And again, I can't, it feels like I'm right about this with regards to a drug addict, where, I mean, this feels exactly, I mean, I feel like I'm right about this. I don't know if I'm right about them, but it feels like, you know, just being messed up and feeling how I feel with regards to regret, remorse, and how I took, it's like I took my family for granted, or I took my friends for granted, I took my life for granted, I took my past for granted. But I see now how much they love me. I see how much they care about me. I see how I would just do so many things differently if I had the chance. I would do so many different things. And it's like I prioritized the wrong things. I prioritized money, or like things like nice phones or nice bags, or just what I thought would make me feel good. Shoes, you know, like going off and spending money, or just like showing off. And I don't know why I was lost then. Why I didn't see how good I had it and how good I could have had it. It's like I feel regret for the future, like of where I could be now. I had so much ahead of me, and I had my options, I had my choices, I had the world in my hands where I could choose what to do, what direction I want to take, what kind of person I wanted to become. And I just feel stuck now. I feel stuck. I feel like I can't even sit with the truth for myself. It feels like the truth is so harsh. It's so harsh, and it's so much. I've done so much that having to come to terms with everything, like, it's hard now. I'm on drugs now, and it's so freaking hard to deal with. I can't imagine just being completely sober and having to manage these emotions. I don't know if I can do it. I don't think I can do it. And then I have to look at the pain that I cause people, and look at like the sympathy in their eyes, and it feels like shameful and embarrassing. And it's like this feeling of like, I want to change. I want to move forward. I want a clean slate. I want to just erase my past by carving a new future for myself. But the process in between that is a lot to deal with. It's a lot. And I'm scared. And there's a lot of gratitude. Again, if it's not the family, I would be shocked if it's not the family, or it must be like really, really close friends, that that Sage would consider family, where it's like, thank you so much for never giving up hope on me, never giving up on me, seeing the light in me when I couldn't even reach for it myself. Thank you for sowing the seeds of love and kindness that I can harvest. Like, the seeds of love have grown, and now I can reach for that and I can harvest it. I can feel that love. I can use that love to become a better person, or like to keep going, keep trying. It's this, I heard like, I just want to feel safe in your arms. I just want to feel safe. It's like a feeling of like a mom, like mommy. Like, I want to be held by mommy, my mommy, my mom. Something about the voice, like my voice, like there's strength in my voice, or I mean, I'm being drawn to the necklace. That's where I'm getting it from. That's what I'm being highlighted, so I don't know if it's an actual necklace, but it feels like their voice, because it's connected to her throat, right? It's like, there's power in my words, or there's like that's what I have to unlock, is like being able to talk to you guys. It feels like you can find me is kind of, not kind of, that's what I'm hearing, is you can find me. I'll write that down again, because this is emphasizing what I said earlier that I'll talk about. You can find me. You can find Sage, okay? The family or whoever I keep referencing can find Sage. Use your intuition, okay? Concentrate. Let your mind go free and take a deep breath, relax. And you can find Sage. I know you can, because I felt it, and then it's being repeated, and it feels like it's being repeated by Sage. Oftentimes when I do readings, especially missing persons, I don't know what's going on. Emphasis on water. Like there's always water nearby. And it's like actual water. It's not, it's not, you know, it's not a symbol for something. It's like, I feel like a dam though. A dam. Or a bridge, a dam? Because why I'm saying a dam, let's try and think why, so then we can figure out exactly. Because it feels like concrete, again, a lot of concrete, like something tall, blocking the water. It's like blocking the water or stopping the water, but knowing that there's water nearby. That's what I see. All right, so I don't know what I want to pull. I feel like I was about to end the reading. I feel like I should pull, maybe I'll pull for the family. Very strong towards the family. Very strong. Very, very, like it's, it feels like, it feels like this a lot of crying, like shaking crying. And Sage I see as crying and like stomping feet, stomping, like, have you ever just like let me try and like like that kind of crying, like helplessness and frustration. Like, you know, when they try and hold, it's not even they're trying to hold and they're crying, but it's like they're just crying so much, and it's like a full body, and they're stomping their feet. Adults do it too, but I was just trying to think of an example. That's what I feel. And then from the family, it's like just it's relief, it's sadness, it's overwhelm, it's like a lot to process. I feel like it's a homecoming. I feel there's a homecoming happening one way or another. I do. And maybe this is, I don't know if this would be spiritual, if this is real life, I don't know. I don't know. See, the gripping. I don't know what I'm looking for. There's that water, and it's surrounded by concrete. It looks like a dragon in the sky to me. I'm going to pull more cards, but what I'm thinking, I don't know if this is more of just a message from Sage of saying, like, thank you for always understanding me, you know, to whomever I'm referring to. It's like, thank you for always understanding me and not giving up on me. Even when I feel so different, like, I see that, like, being different, you know, like a unicorn, it's magical, it's special, and I don't have to, it's like, it's almost like I don't have to doubt myself. I don't have to doubt your love for me, and through that, I don't have to doubt my love. Jewel, because I feel like it's the same thing. It's a lot of love, a lot of love. Which is probably why I put this. Say if Sage could say anything right now to the family, you are limitless with another unicorn. I almost thought that said you're understood. You are limitless. My mind feels so, like, at peace, at ease, and connected. But overwhelmed. Okay, because I'm hearing, but I'm not picking it up. What are you saying? It's like I'm asking because it feels like, me personally, I'm like, am I missing something still? Is there there's something here? Like, is there a card here that I can pull that's going to tell me what I'm looking for? And I still haven't got it. And then I'm hearing this message of, like, everything you need is here. Everything that you're asking and looking for, all the information, all the answers that you're looking for is right here. It's right here. You don't have to keep looking. And it's like kind of like saying, like, put the cards down. But I keep looking. So we have treasure your loved ones. It's important to love others deeply. You are limitless. You can do anything you choose. And again, it's this child in the arms of the mother. And it's like a teardrop and being held. And then the unicorn again, which I feel is about their uniqueness. And then, like, being paired up. And is feeling like an immense sense of gratitude and playfulness. Like, I am so grateful for it's like I'm grateful to be your child. I'm grateful to be part of this family. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity of being loved in spite of my differences and in spite of things that I feel are obvious limitations on myself. It's a self-imposed limitation, right? It's self-imposed obstructions and you know, what am I looking for? What's the word? But like oppression and like looking down on themselves. It's like, it's almost like how this is leaning down out of respect. It's like you came down to my level. Like you came down. It's like if I fell, you didn't just help me up. You got on your hands and knees to help me up, to help me rise up. And thank you for that. And we have Jewel. Every event in life presents us with a new opportunity to experience ever greater love. There is a jewel to be found within every teardrop. Trust, we, your angels, are guiding the current events. This is the time in which you and those close to you will emerge strengthened by ever greater bonds of love. Trust, there's nothing to fear. There's only love. Wow. Talk about synchronicity. Wow. Okay. I'll leave it at this. I will turn the cards this way, so if you want to pause it and look, then you can. How's that? All right. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure you can see. And I'll let this burn out. So hope this has some information, valuable information in here. Even if I misinterpreted it, I will back this up. Okay, this, you can figure it out. What I said, maybe I'm wrong. I do not question this. I don't. I just don't. I don't. So it is what it is. Thanks, guys. Bye.